Hello, hello. Hi, Angie. Welcome in, Angie. Are you having a good weekend? This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it is Friday night, August the 23rd. Welcome to my desk. Welcome to my desk. I have quite a few things to share. Let me get out here while we're waiting for folks to come in and go to my channel. See if I can find my live stream. There it is. I've got a bit of a thrift haul. Hello out there, folks. Come on in. Say hello. Angie's the only one saying hello. I have some happy mail here I'm going to open. Penelope and Derwin are here. There you are. There's Sharon. Sharon, look at this. I got happy mail from Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon. I don't deserve you. Mina's here. Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Dar. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, it's good to see you. It's good to see you online. How are you doing? Hi, Ruth. It's good to see you too, Ruth. It's good to see all of you. Well, I have been busy offline. I'll show you some of the things I've been doing. I've been having fun. And you know that I've been making these scrap journals. This is one I made last week, just using up my scraps. And you know, I bought that Woodlandia sticker book and I took it apart and I have this. And this is how I made this other one out of, only we had a matchbook cover. And this was left over from the matchbook cover and it looked very much like this. And what I did is I took little pieces of paper such as, let me grab one here, such as, well, this is short, but, and then I just opened it up to a spot and glued it in. And then, let me get it in there. Glued it in, and then I just kept gluing onto that until I got a page. And then I just kept doing that until I got something like this. And that's helping me to use up my scraps. I'll be doing more of that. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but I made this one. This one I'm really proud of because the wraparound, I put a Crayola wrapper there. I have so many Crayola wrappers that I don't know what to do with. And I just threaded my tie through it and put a flower at the end of it. And it makes a really nice little journal tie there. And then this is all scrap inside of here. Now open it up. It's all scrap. I did this sitting in my recliner. I just had a whole bag of scraps I didn't know what to do with. And this is them. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these after I get them made, but I'll have several. I'm trying to clear out all my boxes. And then I have the owl one that I made last week. And instead of putting silhouettes in that smaller one, I think I'll put silhouettes in this one and theme this as a silhouette journal. So this isn't anything that I will be doing, you know, it doesn't have to be done right away. I'll do it when I do it. So I got happy mail here. I got a package from Sharon and a little package, I think this is from Barbara Clark. Sharon's here, Joyce is here. Oh, your screen is black? I can see you, Joyce. I can see you. Why don't you go out and come back in and see if that helps? We see you, Joyce. And my screen looks okay. Does everybody else have good screens? Hi, Sylvia. Isn't this pretty packaging? And of course, I can't show the other side because it has the label, but you know This would make a really nice page in one of those journals, wouldn't it? This is really nice. Sharon Lombard. Allie K. Hi, Allie K. She says, I see and hear you fine, Mary. Good. Good screen, Mina says. Hello, ladies. Angie says, Mary, like you all have done for 4 days, is make scrappies. I like 4 more. Oh, and you've made four scrubbies. Oh, like you, all you've been doing is making scrubbies. You have 4 more to go, and you'll have 20, and then you're done with them. I don't know. Can I make 20 little scrap journals? I'll bet I could make 100 of them. And I'm not going to be done till the box is empty. And then I'll start in another box. Hi, Kitty Jen. Welcome in. Who have I missed here? Sylvia, Joyce, Mina, Sharon, Allie K, Dar, I think Ruth Lamb. I think I've caught most of you, welcoming you in. Let's go ahead and open Sharon's mail. And let's see, where should I open it at? I'm going to open it right here. If I can get my scissors in there. I like to make journal. This will make a nice journal cover, won't it? I'll have to either tear off or blank out the address on the other side. Make sure I'm not cutting anything in there. I'm going to go crooked. Ooh, Sharon. I don't deserve you. Look at what she sent me here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just make sure it's all out. No, there's some paper in there yet. Gotta get it all. Is that it? That's it. But look, isn't that a beautiful? Make a nice pocket too. Thank you for that, Sharon. So, let's see. Let's just leave it out here. Beautiful paper here. And of course it's double-sided. Beautiful. Oh, look at that bee. Oh, Sharon. Ooh, I want to draw it. I want to batik it. Oh, look at the other side. Oh, no. Is this double? Oh, no. Oh, good. Oh, look. You guys, look at this. Well, I'll put it like this. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, Sharon, thank you so much. Oh, wow. Do I need to zoom out a teeny bit, maybe? Ooh, look at that hot air balloon. Let me zoom out just a teensy bit. Ruth says, good evening, everyone. Oh, I'm way up above. Kitty Jen's here, she's saying. Joyce says she's back, all good. Yay! Welcome in, Joyce. You see, Derwin survived the glue. Where did he go off? He did. He got a little glue on his back. I cleaned it off the best I could. And it dried. Some fell into the crack, but it dried transparent. So, yeah, little Derwin. The Year of the Dragon. That was a gift from Becky. Swing cards. 3D pop-up. Oh, wow. Let's open this up. Sharon, you're too good to me. You're too good. Wow. Well, we were gone yesterday, and we were gone the day before because we had to take my car in. $500 brake job. We were gone yesterday to pick up my car. So I paid $300 and I got $200 to go on it. Look at this. Oh, look. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh wow. I think it opens up like this. Oh. Now I can show it top down. I think it opens up here, and there's a little basket here that opens up, and then here's it's a 3D card here. I've got to open it up. Maybe if I open up the basket. The basket has people in it. Has a man and I think there's a woman over here hiding. No? Yeah. Oh, Sharon, this is cool. And I think it probably hooks in here in the back. Like so, maybe. Like that. And then it stands up, and then you shape it so that it's swinging. Very cool, Sharon. Thank you so much. Wow. I'll have to set this up in my room. And of course, this will be a nice little... Oh, look, there's an envelope in there, too. This will be an addition to a journal. Absolutely. And this will stand up in my room in here. And what do we have here? Tassels. And a paper clip with a button on it. No, that's a paper clip. Oh, and she put the clip through the button shank. How cool is that? And then there's some tassels. Sharon, you're just too good to me. And what are the... Oh, look, a little palette of watercolor. It looks like they're metallics. Oh, wow. These will fit in my purse when I go urban sketching. And then here's some more yummy paper. Is that the same? I think we got more paper over here. Yeah, look. Oh, Sharon. Oh, yummy. Oh, thank you so much. And a beautiful napkin and gold circles. Gold circles. This one looks like it opens up. This is a pop dot, maybe. Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, I'm going to keep the watercolor out. And so a gold stripe there. And let's put everything else back into the envelope for now. Yummy! Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. You're so good to me. I don't deserve you. I think she waited 2 years to get her Santa Claus. Was it 2 years or 5 years, Sharon? Oh, it was a long time. She waited to get her little carved Santa Claus that she won from me. And it was sitting here on my desk most of the time. I just didn't get it mailed. See, I'm going to not force that in anymore. And let's put this napkin in between here. And see if I can fit this in. Thank you, Sharon, for all the goodies. I love you. Who couldn't love this? Okay, now I have another happy mail from, I think this is from Barbara Clark, because it's from California. So let's open it up and see if my thinking's right. Or do I have stinking thinking? Oh, look at that. Can you guys see that? Card inspired by Joy DeFee. And of course it's from Barbara. And look, she sent a little hidden, it's a little clip. It's not a hidden anything, but it's a clip that you can put on like that. So that'll go in my journal along with this. It says, happy birthday, Meri. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I mean, not Sharon. I got Sharon on the brain. Thank you, Barbara. She says, may you create to your heart's content. You're always inspiring us to go in a new direction. Because I go in different directions all the time, don't I? Many, many blessings for your new year, Meri. May you find time to dream and respect, and then create some more. You know, I have been, this is just beautiful. I love, looks like she put some red streaks this way and then came with a big thick blue one, and then she put this floral on it. Very pretty, and then dots underneath. This is nice. I think this might be a vellum sticker or just a sticker. Very nice, Sharon. Barbara. Very, very nice. Thank you for remembering me, both of you. Bless your hearts. And you guys, you gave me a nice birthday in chat just by saying happy birthday. That was Sunday night. Let me flip my camera a little now. I might have to zoom in a little now because I want to do some, let's see, should I do the thrift haul next? Let me put this here so I don't drop it. Let's do the thrift haul next. Let me straighten out my camera. It is crooked. Got a little better. Hi, Jacqueline. Isn't that cool? Hi, Goldie. Welcome in, Goldie. Welcome in, Jacqueline. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing? As a suggestion, drink water. It can get rid of chemo. It can get rid of chemo. It can get rid of anything. Well, look what I have. I try to drink 4 quarts of water a day. That's a gallon. And I told the gynecologist that I was seeing, I said, I drink 4 of these a day. And he says, you need to drink 4 more. I'm going, I'll live on the pot. I already visited several times a day. But you can see I'm probably got a third left in here, maybe a little over a third, not quite a half, maybe about 3/8. Goldie, you sound like my brother. I keep telling him to drink more water, and he says he can't. He says, I drink as much as I can. So finally I told him, I said, well, every time you pass because he drinks water out of the faucet, he lets it run and get cold, and then and I said, every time you walk by that faucet, you get your cup and fill it with water and take, if you can't drink the whole cup, take 2 or 3 big swallows, at least a half cup. Goldie says, lovely haul. Isn't it nice? Thank you, guys. Cheryl says, drink more water. Goldie says, oh, shoot, it settles down soon. I hope it settles down soon. Okay, just normal chronic things. I got to visit my niece today, Goldie says, and that always brightens my day. Yeah, the kids are back in school around here. I'm sure they are where you are. They started last week, the 15th, so it would have been last Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday, I think. And the young man that mows my lawn is in 8th grade, and my grandniece is in 8th grade, and she's got a birthday coming up. Kitty Jen says, you have to tell Derwin he can't go doing the zoomies around the room and knocking over the card. There's too many zoomies without knocking it over. Yeah. He jumped over the cliff the other day. I had to get, Becky also gifted me one of those grippers, and I had to get the gripper to get him out, but we rescued him. I felt like I was, you know, you see those YouTube videos where they pull the moose and the elk out of the quicksand? Well, that's what I felt like I was pulling. Of course, it's not quicksand, it's carpeting back there, but All right. Goldie says, are you any better tonight, Angie? And Angie says, Goldie, my blood pressure is up. But yes, I'm doing okay. Yeah, I've been eating a lot of salt lately. My blood pressure's up too. I would imagine. I have pretty high blood pressure anyway. I always have. I guess. And Becky says the best thing you can do for blood pressure is go for a walk. And I was going to go out and work in the yard today, but they were predicting rain, and it's been rainy, and all weekend is supposed to be sizzling hot. So I guess the yard will wait. Oh, Dara's here. Cheryl. Angie says she's cold. Cool card. Cheryl says hello. I'm just scrolling back, seeing if I missed anybody. Allie K says, I see Derwent survived the glue fiasco, so I guess I'm caught up there. Derwent, Cheryl, Derwent is this little dragon that Becky gifted me. Her sister made this out of with a 3D printer. Isn't that cool? He's a little dragon. At the beginning of the year, I wanted a dragon to gild. Like last year, I gilded that rabbit and made a gold rabbit, you know, the Chinese New Year. And I wanted a dragon, and Becky sent me this dragon, but I can't gild him, you know, or gilt him with the gold. I'm happy with the way he is. He's kind of a goldish orange color anyway. He's cute. He likes to curl up by Penelope. They're buds. They're buds. He likes to curl up here. My rabbit's here someplace. I'm not going to try to dig it out. Sharon says they've been having rain too. You know, we need rain. Cheryl says, see, chemo has taken my memory. Oh, Cheryl, hugs to you. I'm just praying that chemo is doing you good, Cheryl. Send us your rain, Sharon, Goldie says. Goldie says, I'm the opposite. I get low blood pressure. My doctor told me I could eat as much salt as I wanted. And so I try to eat a lemon with salt on a pickle or a pickle. And it helps a lot not to be dizzy and faint. Salt your popcorn. I like to pop popcorn. I'm stuck on that. I used to always eat Jolly Time popcorn, but the store ran out of it, and so I grabbed some Orville Redenbacher. And man, I'll tell you, that Orville Redenbacher popcorn, I'd just as soon have that as potato chips. Look, Sharon gifted me some watercolors. Thank you so much for that. I'll be using those. The elementary went to a 4-day school where Goldie is, and so we've been getting to see them on Fridays more often. Well, that's good. What, did they have longer days at 4 days? Cheryl says, happy birthday. Thank you, Cheryl. It was Sunday, but thank you anyway. Okay. Well, let's get out the thrift. I did do a little thrift haul. I had $23 in my purse, and I said that's what I'm going to limit myself to when I go thrifting. So I spent $23. That's just what I had in change, and I said that's all I'm going to buy, and so I did really good. But you know, thrifting is almost like a sport. You do it for the fun of it. And let's start out with this. I've been looking for these. I want to get some more of them. We have to go to town on Monday. And I want to get some boxes. And I'm going to put them out by my recliner. I want lidded boxes. I want some of those flip tops. But this is a Lang box. And I paid $1 for it. And these are expensive. Let me turn my camera a little again here. Is that too much? Yeah, hold it. I might have to stand up and fix this. Hold on, it's floating around. How is that? Thrifting is addictive, Goldie says. And when I'm really feeling tired, I still want to stop at the thrift store. Yeah, me too. But I wanted to, this year I wanted to go to the, I'm going to fix it. You see my hand here. Fix this so it's, I wanted to go to the state fair this year. But I also have to get my car licensed. And so I'm going to forego the state fair because it takes $20 in gas just to go up there and $15 just to get in. And that's $25 right there. And my car licensing, my car is a 2005, and my car licensing is $28 in our county, which is good. So I licensed my car instead of going to the state fair. So I got this Lang box. Now this has stuff in it, so I'm just going to set it aside. And then I got another box. I look for these nicer boxes. This is a nice fall one. So let's see what she put in here. I got a lot of little things. Ribbon here for 50 cents. It looks like it might be a nice fallish ribbon. And look, I found one of these wooden tracing wheels for 25 cents. This is, you don't see these too much anymore. And I got some embroidery floss. The floss is a little bit more expensive. They've gone up. It's 25 cents. So I got, I think, 10 of them. So $2.50, I think, here for floss. And I got some red buttons for $2, a little expensive on the buttons, but you would pay, what, about $4 or $5 or $6? It doesn't, oh, does it have a tag over here? I think they took, no. I can't read the barcode. But these cost me $2, and then another package of red buttons for $2. And then I picked up a glass case for $1 here, just an empty one. I was watching Katia, or she had posted, I think, in our tatting group. And I have a red case, but it's kind of damaged. And so I'm going to make a little tatting kit with my needles and a little pair of scissors and everything. And it's a nice hardcover one. And it's pretty wide. So that's why I got that. And I'm just going to put all these back until I need them. But I like, this is a nice fall. I'll probably take this out in the living room. And right now I'm going to put it behind me. And then on this box, oh, there's more in here too. I bought some candles. I burned these candles out in the living room where it's nice and safe on top of the TV. I have it. It's safe. I got 2 candles. That one was 50 cents. And I'll have to get a little tray or a lid or something to put under it. And then this one was $1. Haven't even been, they had some in little jars, but I have plenty of little jars. So I got 2 candles. I've been burning candles. I got a little needle kit. I thought this would be fun, not so much to put in my purse or anything like that, but to use for decorative sewing. Some little page protector reinforcement labels. Paid 50 cents for those. I decided that was probably a better deal than what I could get at the store. Then I got this little bag of, I just about passed this up because I don't need rickrack, but I noticed it's all the little stuff. And the little stuff is better than the big stuff for journaling, and then it's got some of that elastic cording in there. So I picked that up. That was $2. And some ribbon. I like this ribbon when I slow stitch, I use it, and that's that. So, like I said, I spent $23, and I got another sack, but it's not as much in it. So this will probably go out in the living room too, because they're decorative. They'll look nice out there. My brother won't complain. Ha! Oh, he'll complain. Anyway, what did I do with that sack? Use that sack for a trash pack. Let me reach for the other sack. Yeah, that's what you need to do when you go thrifting is say, set yourself an amount before you go, unless you see something you just can't resist. I almost bought a quilt rack, but it was a little wobbly, so I left it. These were 50 cents. These are Windle clings, I think, but I'm going to put them in my journal. They're stickers, but they're kind of sticking to the, oh, there we go. I'm going to put them in my journal, probably make me a little journal, a little fall journal. And, oh, it was $1. No, it was 50 cents. 50 cents. I should have maybe gotten 2 of them, but I thought, well, this will be nice for fall. And I couldn't resist this foam rubber, because this foam is kind of expensive. This was 50 cents. And it's an inch wide, so I'm always looking for something like that. And then I got some stationery. This is pretty. I'll use this in my journals. I'll fold it in half. It looks like a little one here. I don't know if you can see a little lad smelling the flowers, it looks like. No, it's 2. It's a little lad and a little girl, and they're kissing. I thought this was a vase of flowers, but no, I can see they're kissing here. And I got a ruler because it was plastic and clear. I'm going to keep that in here. And then the only other thing I got was this, and I think this is probably burlap, but you know, you can stitch on this, and I might do some stitching. This is not, this is burlap. This is not even, it's even weave, but it is a burlap. So I picked that up. They had a lot of packages of men's ties, and I had to resist them because I haven't pulled apart the last ones that I got. So that, my friends, is my thrift haul. Yeah. So I've done the card opening and the thrift haul. Let's move on to the slow stitch. I want to show you, because I don't think I flipped through my slow stitch journal in a while. I think I've done several pages since you guys have last seen it. And look how thick it is getting. I think that I can, and I haven't done this week's yet. We'll get to this week's. I'm working on something else, but slow stitch wise, and I'll show that to you. But I'm going to do a flip of my journal here. And I'll try not to linger too much over the front pages, because you guys have seen those. And if you're newer here, you may have not seen them. But this is January. Now what I'm doing offline is kind of, I'm going to have to put something in here to even it out, maybe. I got some trapunto birds and mice in there that are taking up the space up there. But this is every week. This is K3N Cloth Tales. Every week she does a journal page, and this is the stitch journal is my art journal for 2024. It's my main art journal that I'm doing for 2024. Cheryl says, I read where you can use uncooked spaghetti noodles to light your hard to light candles with the stubbies and wicks. Really? That's interesting, Cheryl. Goldie says it's interesting too. Well, I've got some unused spaghetti, and I got some candles. We'll have to try it. Hi, Becky. Becky said she's finally back home. She said Scott's mom's TV isn't working, and her new TV she can't understand. I know, that newfangled stuff for us older folks, Becky. I know. It's all internet. It's probably a smart TV, huh? So this is, every week, this is K3N Cloth Tales. She's a channel here on YouTube. And every week I follow her, and I'm all caught up, I think. So this starts out with January. And this is just a fabric weaving. And here the theme was like light and dark. I think it was diversity. Or balance. And this might have been diversity here where she did the different quilt style, the different little styles, like the 4-patch. One is Kwanzaa and one is Sashiko. I think this is the Kwanzaa here, and this is the Sashiko, could be reversed. This was darning. I've never darned before. You can't see it. I did a good job on it, I think. And a 4-patch. That was the 3rd week in January. And then the diagonals here. And I need to go in and still take care of this. This is English paper piecing. And this was Trixie fabric. It was the fabrics that are hard to stitch. Like I have a open weave here and a bit of curtain and a real thin scarf fabric there. Different fabrics. I got a bit of ribbon in there. And here, all these little red pieces were scraps. And we stitched them all down and cut a heart. And I got a picture of my mother and my aunts that I'm going to put behind there. And then it's hanging on this fabric button. And I forget what this one was called, but it doesn't have the raw edges on both sides, so it's kind of reversible. It's tucked in on both sides, but there's a name for that style. I forget what it is. I'll have to look it up. This is a 9-patch. My 9-patch. I just did little squares here. And then we're supposed to do a gridded poem. It'll go underneath here. What that reads the same, not the same, but you can read it this way horizontally or this way vertically. So I'm still kind of working on that. And then I have this salvage, which goes up to number 9, from 0 to 9. And this is a feather. And this, there's a name for this too. It's got these funny little corners on the edges. There's a name for it. Posaki or something like that. Posaki? I'd have to look it up. I'm going to go through all the videos and get the technique and write them all down. I'm in the process of doing that. And then this was our spring solstice piece, where I took this towel, this linen table runner or doily type thing, and it's got pulled thread here, and I cut it in half, and cut it in half vertically and horizontally. And then here it says, if you love something, set it free. And I made a little pocket here, and then this closes up like a book. And then I took the other piece like this, and we buried it. That was the deal. And then on the summer solstice, you'll see the other half of this. That turned out nice for me. And this was the friendship star. And on the back of that was, I did a piece and I had a giveaway, and Allie Kay won it. And I wanted to do something similar. This is stitched on denim. And it's got the circle here, big fat French knots, little stars and butterflies. So I did one for my journal. This was K3N inspired, was the wolf jumping over the moon here. And I got little mountains, a little piece of tatting there. This was the solar eclipse. I need to put those buttons on, but we did the moon going in front of the sun there. Documented the solar eclipse. This is going to be a nice little journal once it's all done. The theme of this was earth and water, sea. So the brown resembles the earth or the ground, and the blue waves here resemble the water. That was the theme. And then this was called Backstory. And what you did is, you can't see my stitching. I mean, you can't see the design here. It was all little leaves, but you can kind of see the veins of the leaves on this side. This is Backstory. It's showing off the back of the fabric. And then this one was kind of like a, the Dutch, very geometric. And I started stitching on it up here, and I left my needle in there. I need to get my needle out of there. And I got tired of doing all that intricate stars and stuff up there. So there's white and blue, and it's very intricate. And so I just started doing the hexagons, and then I stopped on it and did this because it was faster and easier. But that was Backstory. This is a pocket, and I still need to put a little mouse in there, and maybe an ATC or a coin. And there's a little mouse that goes in there. And then I just put some safety pin here with some dragonfly charms on it, a little cameo. And the theme was pocket. This was kintsugi with the Japanese mending technique with gold. Gold heals everything. And so that was the theme for doing this. This was my gold mending stripe in there. And this was, you were supposed to go find a secluded space to stitch. And I designed this. You packed a little bag, of course, my bag. My bag isn't little. I always put too much in my stuff when I pack and go off. But I designed this out on the front porch from memory, and stitched it out on the front porch, and it's kind of, I think the theme was mystery or mystery island, or she said pretend you're going away on an island, and I pretended my island was the front porch. But this is Penelope, my pincushion doll, and this is just Crazy Quilt here. No, this is a very informal style of sashiko. Now sashiko, you will see, and maybe we'll get to do one of those where you have real pretty designs like squares and stars, and this is just running stitch sashiko and I love the movement in this. I love that these stitches go this way and these go this way. It kind of reminds me of Van Gogh's painting, and I do that a lot. And so I used the blue. Most of the sashiko in Japan, it's a Japanese technique. Most of the fabrics are indigo. Well, I used blues. And then over here, I did the same thing, and my stitching is a little bit more straight. It's not curvy. And I used muted tones on muted fabrics on this side. This was all 1 week. And this one I giggle at because it just reminds me of eyes. It reminds me of something very organic, something you would see in a chemistry book. I think I'll name it Chemistry. But these are all blanket stitches that are very organic. You don't try to stitch them nice and even and all that. You go organic with it. And I kind of like that, but I giggle at it when I see. I kind of call it Chemistry because it kind of looks like little cells there. And then this was a sampler. We got into doing some crazy quilting, and she taught a week on different stitches. The blanket stitch, the wrapped running stitch, the chain, the fly. I think that's this is an arrow stitch, this is a fly. I forget what that one is. I think this one's the chevron, a smaller chevron with a little running stitch at the top, some little upright crosses, another running. This is the feather stitch down here. So, and then down here was a spider web, some crosses, and then I did a little floral piece here. And then I started another one to play with the stitches again, and I still have half of this to do. I'm trying to teach myself how to do that 4 square stitch the way she taught it. I understand the process, but my hands don't do it. So I'm still working on that. I have not done it on this yet. And this was the crazy quilt piece. She calls it crazy patches, but I put beading. I have some tatting running down here that has beads in it. I have a little charm with a ribbon on it, a little filigree piece, some couching in here, some more tatting, another filigree charm. So this was a crazy quilt piece, different feather stitches and blanket stitches and couching and running stitches. And then this, well, this and this are the same. These are the summer solstice pieces. And this is the other half of that spring solstice where it says, if you love something, set it free. And then we buried this piece of cloth around April 16th to June 16th. And I buried mine under a tree. And I had some of the 10 shapes that I've gotten from Rosemary, 10 tiles that I got from Rosemary. And then you can see I had a little wooden lid and some paper clips. These are before I bought things from Jacqueline. And Jacqueline, if you're in here and want to put your website in, feel free to do that. Jacqueline, if you use the code Meri10, I think she'll honor 10% off. There's Kathy Windy. Kathy is asking Angie if she still makes fabric bowls. Angie says, Laura, you remember when I made all those yo-yos? Well, this is Scrubby's as bad as the yo-yos. I'm over them. Angie's been making Scrubbies. Did I miss Jersey? There she is. Hi, Laura. You love the eyes ones? It is very organic. It almost looks like a chemistry, almost like a cell type thing. Where is it? It's back over here. This one. Oh, it kind of looks like big eyes staring at you, too. But anyway, so you buried this fabric in the spring solstice, and then you went out and got it in the summer solstice. And when you open it up, the spring one says, if you love something, set it free. And then on the end of that, it says, if it returns, it is yours forever. And the idea of this was to see how the rusting and the environment and everything affects the fabrics. And you're supposed to just let it be. Let it be out in the environment and see what happens. Now, not all of the fabric came out as nice as this, but this did come out nice. But I had it on the inside. This is similar to what she did for her piece. Very similar. She did a circle and running stitches. And I had a filigree piece that got rusty in there. And I think I practiced on this before I did this. And I've got one other piece here. Where is it? Is it on the back? Yeah. This was the damaged pieces. I call this the leftovers. And it was a very shredded, the environment got to it. And I did some darning of holes here. Some running stitches in there. I think I did some more darning on this. Maybe I didn't. I don't see. Maybe up in here. I didn't darn. I kind of stitched them around in the hole. But these were all, it was a very damaged piece. You can see the fabric had holes in it here and here. And I put tatted pieces on it. And I call this piece leftovers because that was kind of what was left over after the environment got to it. Then some of this, it has I started putting she also on Wednesdays she does Wonky Wednesdays where she does a smaller journal. And she does log cabin style, but on this piece she did a hexagon, not a hexagram, a hexagon. And this is a trapunto. No, this was just a little bird. This was the hexagon here. And I put a little floral, made a little flower down here to fill out the space. Over here, and this is, I had a piece in here that just shredded. You were supposed to go out and get a leaf and wax them, and I did, but the piece on here really fell off and fell off. So I have some dried lavender that I dried a couple years ago, and it's still good, so I stitched that dried lavender in there. And you can kind of see where my other pieces where I had stitched that leaf on there, but I took it all off and left the stitching in there. And then this was the other nature kind of go out and get, I didn't wax this, but this was a stick. And then I had, this is hardanger. I took a hardanger class. One of my friends was teaching it at one of our needlework giveaways. Needlework get-togethers. And she was teaching us how to do hardanger. And I don't do a lot of hardanger, but I did a pretty good job there, and I had this piece around, so I put it there, and then I wrapped fabric like this on this stick and then couched it down. So that kind of goes with my nature. And then I think I have one more nature over here. And this leaf is surviving. If I'm careful with it, I might be able to leave this one in. This has been waxed and stitched on. I think this was a violet leaf. I don't think that's the bloom. It looks like it's a bloom, but it's a leaf and it's split apart there. And then here we get to the trapunto. And this was on the Wonky Wednesday. And I did a big fat rabbit here. This was my very first ever trapunto piece. But a little bunny rabbit, and he's all stuffed. Trapunto is you stitch your design, you outline it, you leave about a 1/4 inch, and then you gather that 1/4 inch. This is the front of the design here. You turn it like that, and then you gather around that 1/4 inch, and it draws it in. And then you stitch it down like that onto your fabric, and I stitched it on the blue piece. And then here's my blue piece, and then you make a slit in the back of that, and then open it up and stuff it. And I did that, and then you stitch it closed, and then I stitched it onto the backing of this green piece, so you won't see the place where I stitched on the back of the blue together. And then I stitched it on a kind of a piece here. I try to, when I have smaller pieces, put it on a page before I put it on the page. And then this was the 4th of July piece. This was called, it starts with a Z. Zico or Zimco or something like that. It's a Japanese style of stitching with running stitches. And you use an old towel. This was an old tablecloth. Well, actually, it wasn't old. It's one that I got from Pearl that I cut up. So it's a very soft, it's almost like a towel. And they use them for dish rags. Well, I'm not going to use mine for dish rags. But the idea is when your dish towels get old and used, when you do these running stitches, you can see what I stitched here also shows over here. See the straight there and the straight here. So, but it adds extra layer on there and an extra thickness, and they extend the life of their dishcloth, or they use it as a dishcloth. Here's another trapunto that I did. There's a little mouse. I really like my little mouse. And this was a hexagon, and I put red tatting around it. And then this was a tatted piece that I started, and I didn't like it. I'm still trying to stitch with the thinner threads, and it knotted up on me, and I stopped on it, and then I put it on here and let him chew on it. And this, this is, I am not a good mandala. She did a beautiful mandala piece. I did something very simple with just the 4 flowers. It was a design on a piece of fabric. And I did stitch the center in there, I believe. I stitched that down and stitched around the leaf and made the, so it's kind of reminiscent of a mandala piece. And see these pieces here, these flowers were off of these right here. This is this. These are the 4 pieces that I put around there. So I did okay. It's a very simple, it's not a very intricate mandala. Then these are my fracture pieces that I kind of went off on my own here. This is a bird, a fracture bird. And I think I did really good with him. And this is Wembley, little fracture man. I want to do more fracture slow stitching. This is a man. I want to do a woman and a flower and do all sorts of fracture art in slow stitch. This was the cathedral window. Now it's getting almost too big here. I'm going to take this and stack here, if I can get a hold of it without just being stubborn. Come on. I'm going to put it over here. This was Wembley. He was a fracture art. This kind of free. This was all scrap here. Wembley. And then these were the cathedral windows. This was the first one I did, and I lost it. I had just a little bit left to stitch. And it looks like I still have left to stitch right in here. And I got my pins in there yet. And I lost it, and I never found it for the longest time, so I made another one. And this one was, the blue fabric is more of a table napkin, and this is more of a cotton piece. So this lays much flatter. This was kind of bulky. But I got 2 cathedral windows. Then she did a page, what she called folds, where you fold the fabric as you stitch, and it goes like this. And I used this beautiful blue, kind of a polyester silky type fabric. And then I used gold metallic thread here. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's gold, all gold metallic thread in there. But it turned out very pretty. I love the circular design here. I'm not sure you can see that too well. It's a very circular stitching in there. This was the Shisha Indian stitched, and she did a really nice circle. I got tired of doing, this was the 4 square stitch that I'm still learning how to do in there. I got tired of doing that. And then I found some, I found some very India type fabric that I put here and here. And I don't know if you can see it, there's a little elephant. I saw an elephant. This is all seed stitching. Took me forever to do all that seed stitching. Little tiny seed stitches. And this is not a mirror. Actually, it's a little plastic piece in there. But it's reminiscent of the Shisha, S-H-I-S-H-A, something like that, Indian technique where they put a mirror in there and they stitch around it. And I did the same thing here with a piece of, she used a piece of foil, so I didn't have a mirror that small, so I used aluminum foil, and you stitch that down and then you do the eyelet stitch around it. This turned out nice, but it took me forever. It slowed me down. And this was the checkerboard. Little checkerboard that's supposed to be irregular squares, and mine are irregular. And there's a circle there, and I put a little twinchy, and then I had a little twinchy that I made when I was doing Beth's twinchy swap. Now this one isn't quite finished. This piece, there's a name for it, but she did couching on it. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to open it up here. I have it pinned down. But I'm going to, you see this tan fabric? Well, I have a piece of tan fabric that goes on the back here. I'm going to stitch it down here on this side, and then let me open this up. Where's that pin? It's right here. So what'll happen is I stitched this, got another pin in there somewhere. It's on this side. I stitched this on a piece of netting tulle. And this is my piece of tatting. This was white, and I dyed it with walnut ink. And this is twisted fabric. I'm slowly learning how to twist my fabric. It's still a challenge for me. But when I stitch it here, and I have that other piece on the back here, all of this will be covered up around the border. It'll look similar to this. And you can see the reverse over here. You can see the orange through here. And when you turn it over this way, you'll see the green through it. This turned out really nice. I'm proud of that piece. It's not done. I have to locate my other piece that matches. If I can't find it, I'll have to put something similar to it. So that, and now it's not all the way in there. Hold on. It needs to come in more. And I found this heart piece. I think I got that from Ranger or Happy Mail. No, I think I got it in Happy Mail because it's got initials on the other side. You can kind of see them through there, but not too much. So, and then on the back of that, this turned out really dark. This was oh, I forget what she called it. Scraps, I think. I can't remember what this theme of this was, but I dyed it with walnut dye. I wanted to see how it would react because that was too bright for me. And I'm thinking about putting it, see, it's really light on this. I almost like this side better. This is the back. But walnut dye is pretty permanent, but I'm thinking about putting some Clorox. Clorox on there to kind of lighten it up. We'll see. We'll see. And this was a log cabin, got into some log cabin pieces here. I forget what she called this I want to call it the scattered squares, but I think it's something, no, I think it's called scattered squares, and I want to call them exploding squares, where you don't match everything up perfectly. But I made a little, kind of like a little pinwheel in there. I really like how this turned out. This was a Wonky Wednesday. This is, you've seen this one before. I started putting my Wonky Wednesdays in here. This was the pineapple log cabin. This was one of the first log cabins that I did with her. I haven't done all her log cabins. I don't know if I'll have time to go back and do them. But this was paper and fabric. So there's fabric and paper on here. And I have room for another one. And I think I'm at the end here. So this week's is Molo stitching. And I'll show you. I've started the design of it. I have to kind of design it. She did a swirl. I'm putting all this. I'm going to have to put maybe another log cabin one in here to kind of balance this out because it's going like that. But for now, we'll just tie all this back up. And it's getting quite fat. And by the time I put all my documentation in there, it'll be really fat. But that's the point of it. So far, I had to split this table napkin in half. And so far, it's still wrapping around, but by the end of the year, it'll probably be, it won't be uncontrollable though. I think, and I might have to break this stick down a little because it sticks out, but let's tie it up here. So that's my stitch journal, which is my art journal for 2024. Now next year I'll probably be doing slow stitching, but I won't be doing exclusive slow stitching. I'm going to do, for the cover, I'm going to do that Japanese Boro, and then I have some PT paper that I dyed with P-E-A-T. It's turned out kind of a light blue, and then I've got some light blue fabric that I got from Lindy and Sean Designs. So that's going to be my 2025, but I need to get 2024 done. So, Penelope and Derwin, let's come out here and let me catch up with chat, and then I'll show you my design for my next page that I'm working on here. Woo! Let me catch up with chat. Let me refresh my chat. Welcome to all of you who I've missed. It's nice to see you all again. I tell you, I do miss you guys when I take these times off. I do miss you, but I feel so good. I really needed this time off. And I think when you stream, now Dee Dee's been doing pretty consistent. She's streamed for like 11 or 12 years. And I've only streamed for, I think I'm going in my 8th year of streaming, but my channel is 11 years old. And so, but I think Dee Dee's been around a little bit longer than me, but she's started out on Ustream and then moved over to YouTube. And I was in her chat the other day. I did finally get to catch her. I want to catch Janet Nash one of these days too, and Becky. I'm missing you guys. Thank you, Allie K. You know, I'm a beginner stitcher. There's a group that gets together on Tuesdays at the local church here, and they work on quilts, but I just don't feel right putting my crooked stitches on those quilts. So I'm practicing. I think my running stitches are getting better. I'll show you in another project that I brought in here. I want to show it to you, but why I like K3 and Cloth Tales so much is because she tolerates wonkiness and imperfection and distress work. She actually thinks it's pretty, and I do too. And she is so talented that she can do and has done perfect work. I am not that skilled. I'm very much a beginner tatter. Probably, well, I've promoted myself in tatting. I think I've gone from the beginner to because I've been 2 years tatting now. And the first year I kind of was teaching myself, and then into the second year, I've been taking classes at the online tatting group, the online tatting class. And they're starting up again in September, so I'm looking forward to that. But I've promoted myself from beginner tatter to a novice tatter. But as far as slow stitching, I don't think I'm quite ready to go from beginner to novice. Cheryl's sending flowers. Brenda, hi Brenda. Mary, that dark page is beautiful as it is. I'm afraid that bleaching would react differently with the fabric and walnut dye ruining it. Yeah, it might. It might. But if I use a thin brush, and I've learned that when you bleach, you have to, especially if you're doing it artistically, you cannot take your fabric and just dip it in bleach and leave it. It will eat away at the fabric, and it will ruin it if you, because I did that. I did that. In fact, you can see some threads here. This is where I put bleach. I put a piece of fabric in my bleach, and you can see what's left of the fabric down here. it's all, I haven't dumped it out yet. But if you take your paintbrush and dip it in and maybe just do some strokes, and then you hit it with the heat gun, it does not ruin the fabric. You can tie it with a tie. Yes, I could. One of those men's ties. Yes, that's true, Cheryl. I do, when I get tablecloths and runners that I'm deconstructing for slow stitching, I like to cut the hems off because it's very, and I'll show you that on the project I'm working on now. It leaves a nice tie, nice strong piece that I can use as ties. And I'll show you what I'm doing with the piece that I'm working on after I finish reading chat. Cheryl says, we got to start a Meri museum. Oh, I don't know about that. Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Goldie's here. Jersey says, lovely piece with the gold heart. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that has a name. It has a quote. And I forget the quote, but it's a cool one. Something about going, not knowing, but still going. Not knowing, but still going. Something like that is the quote that she used. And the one she's doing with the Molo stitching is, you'll have to look at her thumbnail, K3N Cloth Tales thumbnail, because it's Monday's journal page, and it is up on her channel. And she always puts her finished piece on her thumbnail. But it's a swirl, and it's reverse applique. And you layer 3 pieces. And I'm going to show you my design for that. You layer 3 pieces, and then you cut away the outer layer to reveal the second layer, and cut away the second layer to reveal the third layer. And I'll probably have a 4th layer for the page, but I won't cut away on it. She was talking about the song True Colors, which her dad really liked. And for her quote, she picked out, I see your true part of the song. I see you true colors, and that's why I love you. And so that will be probably what I use. I've got to go through, I've started doing it, but I want to go through every page and pick out the stitchery technique, the theme, and the quote that she used. There's 3 main pieces. And then if I left a comment on her video, I want to get the comment that I left. And for every week, I want to document that and put it in the journal, and that'll help complete my journal. But I'm still working on it. I've got to turn that fan toward me. I'm getting warm. When I first come in here, the fan's too much, but as I sit here, ooh, that feels good. Let's see. I have done a lot of stitching, Kathy. I work on that every week. I'm kind of behind now because I'm working on another piece, but I got to get this pieces done. She does a Monday page and Wonky Wednesday, and then on Fridays she puts up a video, a miscellaneous video. This week, you guys, you have to visit her channel. Allie K, did you put the link into K3N Cloth Tales? If you do, I'll pin it. Fridays, I haven't finished watching the entire video, but she went to a gallery showing, I believe it's somewhere in England, and she's moving back to England, by the way, so she's busy getting her house ready and painting and doing the moving, but she's also keeping up with all of her pieces. She's doing, all of her videos. She's doing much better than I would. But she went to this showing, and she got permission to film it. And you guys, you just have to watch it. It's all about birds, and the 2 fabric artists who did these are just, one is more dimensional, but it's very bird themed, like making nests and eggs and, birds. And then the other one's all stitching. And the stitching is just outstanding. It's just outstanding. Each little stitch is a feather or a part of a feather, you know, the little feathery parts of a feather. Um, so, so she kind of puts up a miscellaneous video. She'll show us, what did she did some other miscellaneous things. So, oh, her sampler pieces were she did a miscellaneous Friday video where she showed the different stitches. She did a little sampler that's showing the different stitches before she did that crazy quilt piece. Let's see, what is Brenda talking about? Brenda and Cheryl are talking. Brenda says, my mom is 3 miles from us. Her mind is okay, but she can't walk more than a few steps. She frustrates me by finding excuses to get me to come to her, even though I see her daily. Mo is more patient with her. Cheryl said, not to butt in, but she gets scared some, Brenda. I get nervous with my walking at times just thinking. Brenda says, Angie, no one needs a talking to. My mother-in-law is hateful to me when I'm doing things for her. Then tells others how great I am to her. Her mind's going. I just roll with it. Yeah, sometimes you gotta roll with the elderly people, especially when they get in their 80s, 90s, high. I think Becky's mother-in-law is what, 95 or 97, Becky? Way up there. Probably going to hit 104. My mother had dementia. She lived to be 86, but the last few years were really hard on both of us. I lived with my mother and dad for a while, then my dad passed away, and my mom lived alone for a little bit, but eventually she came and lived with me for a couple years. And then we finally had to put her in a home because I was working full time, had overtime. I could not take care of work and mother at the same time. I had nobody to help me. I was on my own. So we put her in a home, and she did pretty good. The home, I don't think that home is still there. It's been taken over. If it's there, it's been taken over. But the home was run by a Mennonite church, and they were very good. It was a local small town, not far from Lincoln, and my brother found it. But they did a good care, and I think she was pretty happy there. And I got to see her. I went to see her. My brother called me and said, Mary, if you want to see her before she passes, you better come. So I was living down in Kentucky, and I flew up and spent the weekend with her. And she always knew me. Even with her dementia, I think my voice is so unique. And she always knew who I was. But she didn't know. I don't think she knew the rest of the family. I don't really know for sure, but I know she always knew who I was. And I can remember the night before I had to leave to go back, I was sitting by her bedside and the radio was playing, and she was sleeping, and I was holding on to her hand, and she started moving her hand to the beat of the music, and it was like we were hand dancing. That's one of the last memories I have of my mother. Kind of a beautiful memory. And so I flew back, and the next Friday, they called me and said she passed away. So I had to fly back. And not that I minded it so much. I always called her every week when she was in the home. The nurses would take the phone into her. They had a cell phone, and they took it in, and we would chat. She knew my voice. She knew who she was talking to, but sometimes I would hang up, and then I would call the nurse's station, and tell them that, we were done. And the nurse came back and said, she was still talking to you. She was just chattering away to me, and I'd already hung up. It just breaks your heart. But there comes a point where your elderly parents, if you can't care for them, there's no shame in getting help if you really need it. And I really needed it because I couldn't work full time. If I were married and had a husband and a home and all of that, but you know, I was just struggling to make my own way to pay my rent. So anyway, let's see. Becky said she'd be right back. Angie says, Brenda, you lose me. Who's hateful? Brenda says, let's see. She's talking about her mom or her mother-in-law. Kathy was here. I don't know if she's still here. She said it was an awesome book. Kathy said, I'm glad you're not over them because they are so awesome. I love the two that you've made. Oh, Kathy's talking to, I think Angie's making scrubbies. Angie says she's still making them. Goldie says, that's a great book. You like the Japanese gold one the best. Yeah, that kintsugi, that was fun to do. That metallic's kind of hard to stitch, though, when you do a whole page of it. Because it's a little bit, when you're pulling it through the fabric, it's a metallic, so it kind of pulls. It's like stitching with a really fine wire, almost. Becky's talking about her mother-in-law. She says she knows how to be patient with her. Her kids get upset and angry. I keep telling them that she can't help what's happening to her. Yeah, that's the attitude that you need to take. You know, and that's our future, I think. You know, it could very well, we could give us 20, 35 years, we could be there. Hi, Maritza, if you're still out there. Maritza says, Mom's Juju Crafting on the back 40, Goldie. Kathy said, well, you and Scott are her caregivers, even when she doesn't want to accept it. That's true. And I can't go up any further. Laura said something Becky did was sweet. I don't know what it was. So let me go back down to the bottom. Mama Juju Crafton on the back 40 says she's here. Hi, Mama Juju. Brenda says, Mary, that's a great memory with your mom. I got some good memories with my dad as I sat with him his last few weeks on Earth. Yeah, hold on to those memories because, you know, you've got to, you know, my mom and I were not always compatible. You know, mothers and daughters sometimes have different ways of thinking. And certainly when I was younger, that was the case. My mom wanted me to vacuum the floor her way, and I wanted to do it my way, and we had a little spit-spat about it, and so the vacuuming didn't get done that day. Those are kind of memories, too. Those are some things you think, man, if I could go back and change, I would vacuum it Mom's way and get it done. But as you get older and more mature, you realize. But I don't know, when you're younger, you're striving for your independence, you're striving to figure things out, and, you know, sometimes the young ones have the better ways anyway, but I'm not saying my way was any better, but I wanted to do it my way. Now, my dad and I were a little bit closer when I was younger. Mom and I were closer when we were older, you know, especially when I stayed with her and she stayed with me. After my dad passed away, we kind of relied on each other. But when I was younger, my dad I got along much better with my dad when I was younger. I can hear him say, "You're making a mistake." When he thought I was doing something wrong, he'd say, "You're making a mistake." That's how he would say it too. And I'd go, "Well, it's my mistake to make." "You're making a mistake, I'm just telling you." And then if he approved of what I was doing, he wouldn't say, okay, he wouldn't say, "I approve," or "That's great." He'd say, "Hop to it." And he'd say, "Hop to it." My mom would always say, get those bangs out of your eyes. Okay, let me reach for what I'm working. You guys know I've been making those journals. Well, I have something here to show you. If I can find it. Right here. And right here. I have been determined that I'm going to clear out these boxes of scraps. So I went through nothing that I brought in here. I did this out when I wasn't streaming. And I did this. Oh, this is the postcard that I sent off for Becky's. I did finish those. This is the one I sent to myself. I still have some happy mail to my SWAT partners, but this one came back. It went through the mail real good. This is all craft paint. I'm putting it with my postcards over here. But I went through and picked out all the 8.5 by 11 size papers and then the smaller inclusion pages. And I think I have 4 signatures here. And I left 3/4 of an inch there. This is a 2-inch binding. And I think I did pretty good. I don't really do this style of binding so neat. I got a little crooked here. But I did pretty good there. Not bad. And then I have another piece here. This was an Avery label, mailing label thing I got at the thrift store, and I pulled the labels out and using this, and I cut it to size, and so this fits in here, and I'll probably put a piece of fabric in there, you know, and then I have a little piece here that it will fit down there, and then this will get glued down. Probably put some, you know, some wider tape in here and in there. And so this, let me open it up. This will go, this is the, and if you wanted a soft cover, you could stop right here and just cover this. But I wanted a hard cover, so I went upstairs and I looked for books, and I found this book of quotes. And this is one I got at the library sale, I believe. This is not one of Mom's. It's a book of quotes, the great quotations. All about war, though. War and peace and living and all of that. But it's a 2-inch, spine. So this fits in here perfectly. Or pretty perfectly. When I close it up, it closes real good. And I have enough space in here. I might have to cut some of my pages down a little. Or put a wraparound probably. And it fits in there really good. And I left 3/4 of an inch so that I can put stuff in here, because I always go dimensional. So for the cover, what I have here, now wait, I want to show you let me grab it over here. I got these. Let me reach for it. I got these placemats from Pearl at Pearl's Finds. She's been selling on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I got Tuesday of this week, but I missed Thursday because we had to deal with my car. But these are the placemats. And I used 2 of them. And I really only needed to do 1. But this is what I've done. I cut the border off here. I cut that yellow border off here. And so it made it smaller, and it didn't really, well, it sort of fit, but not quite. I wasn't comfortable with it. And so I used 2 of them. And I'm saving this just to show you what I used here. Do I need to zoom out? I'll probably have to zoom back in a bit, but let me zoom out just a little. Again, whoops. That better? And so I'm determined that I'm going to use now my first signature I put in upside down, but I'm going to be painting over all of this anyway. And I might do a little painting tonight. I'm going to do this. I'll probably start working in this before I get it all bound up, because I'm still stitching on the cover. I want to show you that. But I want to do this Donna Downey style. So these are, whoops, I've got some envelopes in there that have addresses. I need to be careful. But, and let's see, there's 5 or 6 pages in a signature. So let's say there's 6, so 6 times 4 in a signature would be what, 24, and 24 times 4 would be what, 96 pages. So this will make a nice little, and I'm going to do this Donna Downey style. So there'll be a lot of painting and circles and stamping and stuff like that. The old art journal stuff. But this, again, will be something that will just be done on a casual basis. That's in anything I'm going to worry about finishing it all at once. So the cover, my stitching, here's where I am on my cover. I took that, this is the 2-inch spine here. And I first made this the front, but it looked upside down to me. It just looked upside down, so I just turned it around and made that the back. But I've been doing let me hold it up so you can see, I've been doing running stitches in here. And then I'm coming in and putting stitches on the flowers, and I'll put some pink in there. This is kind of a design, well, you have to look at it from a distance, but I think these are kind of like either roses or tulips in here. I'm not real sure what those are. This almost looks like an apple to me here. Could be a big old cherry. But I have it all marked out here. But today I've been working on the spine. And what I did was I had cut the spine off of there, and then I put a piece here and a piece here. And I want to show you, I think I'm getting much better with my running stitches. And then over here, on this side, I've started putting the blue, if you can see, in there. I've got gold going this way, and then I've got this blue going in between. I can see it pretty good, but I'm not sure you can see that blue too well. But it kind of, and then it fits on this hardcover like so. So there's kind of like a little band. Looks like I need to take care of that in there. I don't like that. I was ending my stitch there. I might take that out. But it fits. Let me get my pages out of the way. And when I put it on, I'll put it on with Yes Paste. And I'll probably start in the spine. You know, like this. And then bring it this way. I don't have a clip. So, but it'll go like that, and then it'll fold like this. And then there'll be the spine, and then there'll be the back over here. And this will just be like I want it to be kind of like a Donna Downey journal, where I will open it up and just start working someplace in here, like Donna Downey does. Hi, Linda! Linda Rance, I just saw you come in. So that's kind of what I want to do with this. These are just junk papers I had stuck in an envelope and put them in a bag and put them in a box, and I want to get those all cleared out. So you might be seeing me do a lot of this type of stuff. I don't know if I'll always do cloth covers like this, but I got on to doing this, and I really like this. I really like the spine. I like what happens. It's a little wider there, but once I get it on, and then after I get it all done, I'm not going to do it till the very end. But I got those little alphabet beads, and I could put the Meri Atelier, I think, down the side here. Make a little beaded, the Meri Atelier. And I don't know if I'll do any more to the cover. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to stitch in here, but like what I did over here. I love the feel and the texture of this. It wrinkles it. It kind of, you know, it makes the little furrows in there, but I love that texture. And it strengthens the fabric. So that I'm working on pretty steady this weekend is what I've been doing. And this is just a piece of the backing of that placemat. And the placemat, you can see the placemat here was interfaced. So I didn't have to line it. It was, this is interfacing here. So it's very easy to stitch on it. I can stitch with a tapestry needle in here where it's just one layer. But when I did these, I had to get a really sharp needle because it was like 4 or 5 layers thick. So that brings me to, let me just fold this up because I'll probably work on this some tomorrow. And I'll just work on it as I work on it. I go from one thing to another. But you know, I've learned to take, I want to get all this stuff used. I want to use. So I'm going to put all this together in one spot. Now I want to show you the other stitch thing that I'm working on. And then we'll do some art of some sort. I think I know what I want to do. Get it out here. I want to show you my Molo page that I'm designing. And I actually use my Society of Idea Collector book here. And I'm running over scraps. A bag of scraps from last week. Let me get them out. My chair's running over this bag of scraps. Let me tuck that in. Okay. So she did K3 and Cloth Tails. This week because I've been working on that journal, I've been very slow. But she did a spiral on her Molo page. She's got a dark, and then I think a blue, or is it red, and then, can't remember what her spiral is, but she just has a spiral. But I decided that I wanted to do, so I've got the dark, and I don't know whether to use this as kind of a light gold, or this, which is more of a tannish gold, antique gold. I kind of like the gold. I like them both. And then the lighter color here. Or this way. I'm kind of leaning toward that because this has that wheat. And I might need this I might need it for the back of that tool page. But here's my design in here somewhere. Here. And mine's just kind of a floral type thing. And I was just playing with it. I wanted to kind of do a sunflower, but to do a sunflower, you really need more of a square piece. So I've got the petals in there. It's kind of a elongated flower, but I'm going to go with it. And I have the black, the gold, and the yellow. I'm going to do black, gold, and white. Well, that is white. I've got black, orange, yellow. I've actually got 4. So I could use all of these. I'm not sure I like... What did I do? I'm not sure I like these two together. These two. I'm not sure I like those two. I thought I had a deeper orange. A deeper orange would look good with this. I might have to see. This is just a piece of dollar store fabric. I don't mind. Now I could limit myself and make these do black, orange, and white. And make my orange a deeper color here. Make all these yellows like I did in here, a deeper orange. Or make my whites bigger. So I was just playing with it. And here I thought about doing a double spiral, an S-shaped, but I put that aside, went with this. So what I need to do is transfer this design over to here. I need to, my fabric needs to measure 7 by 4.5, I believe. About 7 1/4 by 4.5. And this morning, I woke up real early this morning. I sorted out all my fabric. I had a mess. Let's get rid of my book here and keep the design out. Design will eventually go back in here. I want to start using that Society of Idea Collector book. Let's set this aside. I want to cut a piece here. And this is hemmed, so that's really nice. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/4 would be right there. I could go to 4.5, I think. But I think I'll go to, because my page is 5, I would have a 1/2 inch. But I mean, I'd only have a 1/4 inch. No, I think I just better go to, I think I'll go to 4. I think I made this 4 1/4 though. No, I made it 4.5. 4.5's a little too wide for me. I'm going to go with 4 1/4. My scissors. And I don't know if this white is going to mark for me. When you want it to. Pen. I can kind of see it. Enough to cut. And then let's turn it the other way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go to 7 1/4. 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. And this is fabric that I'm drawing on, so. And then hopefully this will tear. This was a shirt that I bought at the Goodwill, and the sleeves were pulling at me, so I didn't. And I tear fabric a lot. Oh, where's my other piece? It's right here. Let me turn this around. Boy, that sure seems small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go down here. If I need to cut it off more, I will. Now, I didn't cut that enough. Hold on. So see, this is about this is about this size. So let's do 2 more of those. I think I'll go. I don't think I'll use this. I think I'll go with my craft fabric. And let me fold this back up. That was the back. It was a big old shirt. This was the back piece of it. I needed black fabric. All right, I'll put that out of the way. And this is dollar store fabric, so it should tear pretty easy. And of course it's wrinkly. I'll have to press it, I guess. Use my pencil here. And well, I think I can go, I think I went 7 4 1/4 there. I can always trim it off. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 here. And this will be, these marks that I'm making will not show. I mean, they'll be on the underside. I don't think I can, yeah, I guess I can. And there. Hopefully this is long enough. Oops. So that'll be my second layer. Let's get this out of the way. That's just a thread. And then I need to do that yellow or white. I'm going with the white. And let's not roll it, let's fold it. Actually, by the time I handle this and stitch it, all those wrinkles work their way out. I very seldom press my pieces that I use for slow stitching. I just don't. All right, we're going to go with the white. And I think I made it 4 1/4. Right there. And 7 1/4, did I say? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And again, I'll trim anything that needs trimming. Now let's cut this one. And I have become very much a fabric hoarder. I keep saying that I need to stop buying from Pearl, but Pearl has such neat things. I'm always going to her auctions and buying her fabrics, her tablecloths and napkins and doilies. She had a lace sale this past week. I went on Tuesday, and she sells things at such a reasonable price. And we told her that. I told her that. I said, your prices are so fair. And she says, yeah, but I still need to make a profit. And she said, she does. But she had some fabric shop was, I think, going out of business. And she got rows and rows of lace. And some of it she was selling, the really nicer stuff, the bridal lace, she was selling for a little bit more expensive because it was more expensive. But some of it she was selling for like 75 cents a yard. And you could get, she had huge rolls of it, like 40 yards. You could get as much as you wanted. I usually, well, a couple of them I went 4 yards, but it was like 75 cents a yard. But a couple of them I usually buy one, or it depended on how much she had. If she had more yardage, I would tend to buy a little bit more. But if there wasn't enough to go around, it's like it's got a fold in here. What's going on there? Wait a minute. It's got a fold there. Looks like I need to trim this down a little, but I'll do that. Now I think when I cut this, draw on this black piece, I'm going to have to use the underside to draw on with a white pen, and so the white will be on the back. That white ink will be on the back. But you use 3 layers, that's what I'm going to use. That, look, almost that yellow under this light almost looks pink to me. But it's not pink, is it? Is that pink or gold? See, sometimes in the lighting fools me. It looks gold here. I think it's gold. But sometimes when you look at it, it looks pink. I'm going to say it's gold. And I thought about doing the Greek key, because you could do a Greek key, you know, do a long one. I could do a Greek key. But because my flower gets very long and intricate here. But if I did a Greek key, keep getting that black paper. Let's try a Greek key. I'm thinking it might be easier because I am running out of time. I'd like to get it done before Monday, before she gets next week's on there. So we'll go 7 by 4 here. We'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2. Now I could do a very simple Greek key. And let's see. So this would be cut out in here. We'll do it a 1/2 inch. So this would be all black. This would be black. Oh, I'm going to have to make this more than a 1/2 inch though, because we need to cut here. So we might need to make that 1 inch. Let's do another one. Dear Dee Dee and Janet, this was paper I was using for that zine that I never did. Dee Dee said, you need to not do so much stuff, Meri. And I'm kind of back to, if I don't get it done, you know, when I do my journals now, I'm not going to do them like a month journal or a year journal. I'm just going to do the journal. And when it gets done, it gets done. All right, so we're going to go a 1/2 inch in to remember what a Greek key looks like. But I'm going to have to make this wider because we're going to cut. And I could go 1/4 of an inch. because this would be the orange, and then the white, let's see if I got my head on straight here, and it's going to have to come in like that, but I have to, let's see, this would be the orange, and it's got to stop here someplace, and then you'll cut out the white in here. And then it would be black again. So, let's see. This would be orange. I should probably start coloring. I left my markers out in the... Let's use the super tips. I got these. No, I don't want to use the paint pens. Let me get my super tips out here. I think I'm going to switch from the floral. I like the floral, but it would take me so much longer to get them done. I'm looking for my super tips here. Hold on. I've got things stacked up to high heaven. Washi tape. Where did my super tips go? Hold on. I've got too much stuff on this card. I need to clean it off. My Nancy Drew book. Paper here. Watercolor. I'm looking for my super tips. I know they're here. They're in a box. Yeah, I could use these. Let's see if I got orange in there. Yeah, I think these will do. Crayola markers. I don't think I've used these. Whew! So warm. I bought these wider tips. These will go good. Let's see. Orange, I think, is right in here. That's red. Is that orange? Right here. I haven't used these. This will be a good use. The orange and the black. I should put these in a cigar box and get me some more of them, the wide ones. I got these a couple years ago. I haven't used them. Why do you want to get more if you haven't used those, Mary? To fill up the cigar box. At some point, when I'm old and such and such, I won't be able to buy stuff, or things get so expensive I can't afford it anymore, I'll have, right? See, I have good reasoning. I'm just gonna, well, we'll just do that for now. Oh, I got a step. See, that looks pink to me, but that's orange. It's the lighting in this room. Let's see how it looks on here. Yeah, that's orange. And it's going to be a skinny Greek key. But it'll be thicker because I'll do the white in there. And I suppose I should have orange on the next, not black, orange again. Right? And then black again. Let's see. And it comes down this way. All right, now let's get that black. You want to be sure you get the caps on here tight or they'll dry out on you. And the black will be a 1/2 inch. And this would be orange again in here and then black again. I think. I could be doing this wrong. But I think this will be easier to get done over the weekend. And you see, if I put white stitching on this in here and dark in there, I could do that more than a 1/4 inch. I could do it another 1/2 inch. But do I want to? Let me think. And then do a white one and then a black one. A white one. No. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I don't know if I want to do that. But see, I'd have to get stitching on both sides there. And this is black. And I think what I'll do is make all of this orange instead of white, and bring my white down here and make my white narrow because it won't have stitching in it. Or I could put stitching in it, but now I have to think, how does this go? It ends, I think, and comes well, this has to be, that has to come there, and this ends right in here, I believe, and goes, wait, let me, because I'm going to make that a 1/2 inch. So this will be a 1/2 inch and this will be a 1/2 inch. So this, ignore that black line in there. Because I need to put stitching on both sides here. And I want room to do it. I don't do that precise stitching that some folks do. Alright, so now this is a 1/2 inch. I might need to get another. These aren't that juicy. I think the super tips are juicy. These are just markers. These are for the kids. Alright. So I guess I'll end it there. And then, where's my cap for my black? Dee Dee was making fun of me losing stuff on that pen that went to the fine liner. She said, Meri loses stuff. I'm going, yeah, but Allie K saved the day. I said, she went and made a clip. All right, now this I can make a 1/4 inch here, because it's not going to be stitched. You get a 1/4 inch, and this will be the white. And here, and that'll be a 1/4 inch. I have to figure this part out. I'm not sure about that. And I think it'll end in there, and it'll come there, and this will be black, and then I'll do another orange strip. Do I want it another 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch? I think I wanted another 1/2 inch, so it gets real real thick here. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my orange would be, this is a 1/2 inch. So this would be 1, 2 1/2. So 1, 3, 1, 2, this is 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. And then this is 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this would be a 1/2 inch and 1, 2 1/2 to there. This would be a 1/2. So this would only be a 1/4 in here, 1/4, because there's not going to be any stitching in there. And then I'm going to go with another 1/2. I could go with 3/4, but then that makes that, I got 2, this comes there and there. So I've got 2 inches, and I'm taking, so I only have 1 1/2 inches in there, because this is a 1/4 and this is a 1/4. So that leaves 1 1/2 in here. So do I want, if I have 1 1/2 and 1 1/2, I'd only have a 1/2 inch black in here. That would make good sense. So we're going to make this a 1/2 inch and this a 1/2 inch. So that's 1 inch, 1 1/2, and 2. And this would be a 1/2 inch. All right, 1/2 here. So from here to here is 2 inches. From here to here is 2 inches. From this point to this point is 2 inches. And that's an inch and then that's an inch. So that's 4 inches. So my white is a 1/4 and a 1/4 and a 1/2 and a 1/2 and a 1/2. So that's 1 1/2 and a 1/2 is 2. That works out. So this comes clear down to here. And this is a 1/4. This is 1/4 and 1/4 here. And 1/4 there. So I have to figure this out. That's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to figure out my length in here. So if that's a 1/4, this has to be, I could make that a 1/2, or I have to make this 3/4. Or I could make my black a 1/4 here, which I probably will do. So there's 1/4 of black coming up there, because that's a 1/2, and a 1/2 and a 1/4 is 3/4. And there's a 1/4 up there, which makes 1. So that makes sense to me. And it'll be the same way there. So this is all a 1/2. And this is a 1/2. Well, I need my color now. Hold on. Right in here again. And it'll come down. I need the pen. It'll come down to there. Now, what do I want to do? All of a sudden black. See that I don't have this part figured out. If I end that a half there, I have a half there. We'll end this one here. So this will be black. And get the black. Now to translate this to fabric, I only have to translate the top piece, but I need to know where to do my cuts here. So if I end this here, the white, I don't know what to do with the white. Let's see. Oops, I didn't want black, I wanted, ignore that. Let me fix this. So it makes sense to me. I'm kind of confused down in there. Put my cap back on this. And kind of go on hard. Alright, the Greek key comes like that, really. And then that orange comes around like that. So how does the white get in? I guess three colors is kind of confusing for a Greek key because the Greek key is generally two colors, but I'm splitting it in there. So where does my white? My white comes in here. My white comes in there. So this could go a half an inch up there. Have to figure out my Greek keys here. That's my other white. Did I take all my whites out of here? I think I did. Hold the phone. I think I put them in here. I need to get them back. I was using them out in the other room for some reason. Put them in this pencil case. White. White. Pencil. I must have the other small one still out there. I have this white. This one will do. Could use paint. I'm going to white this out. This is just a temporary fix here. Really, it's messed up my white. I know what I'm doing. Follow along. All right. That dries pretty fast. So this orange strip ends up being 1 1/4 inch wide because I'm putting the white strip in the middle of it. Yeah, this is done. Let me get some orange paint or gold paint. Do 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 do. Where's my gold? This will do. This is yellow. I want gold. And more. Turn of the wheel. Saffron yellow. Saffron yellow. Golden sunset. I'm just mocking this up. Hold the phone. Get a towel. What time is it? 9:48. Oh, I only wanted to go till 10 tonight, but I might go a little later till I get this done. Because I want to stitch on this weekend, and I want to know how to cut my pieces. Now this brush was in the water. That's too thin. I need to clean my brushes. I'm terrible with these brushes. I'll use this maybe. Maybe. I didn't like that orange anyway. It looks pink to me. It said it's orange, but it looks pink. Could be pink after all. Get a piece of wax paper. I hope you guys aren't bored. I'm figuring out my Greek key here. I think I just about have it. This corner down here has me. And I think I figured it out over here. So this is all black in here. This is orange. The black comes down, the orange comes around, and it could go up a little too, like that. I have to do that here. That looks pink to me, I have to say. If I can get any gold out of here. We're just going to kind of mock this up. Now this is where I get mixed up. I'm going to go right over my numbers. Because I'm coming around. And I'll go this way and this way. Yeah, that's water soluble, so it has to dry. Yeah, put my hand in it. And I don't have enough room to do the little figures in here. Because I've only got a ½ inch there. Oh, I could just do a 1/4 inch right there and maybe a little up there. Let's paint all this gold. I think I got it. This is just a mock-up. I'm still kind of confused in there. If it ends right there, my white needs to end too, so the black should probably come in there a little. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, the mock-up isn't going to be perfect. Well, the stitching probably won't be that perfect either. But see, what will happen is I'll have little white stitches coming down this way, little black stitches in here and around here, all around the gold, and the white won't have any stitching. I might be able to put a teeny bit in the center, but yeah, I could bring this. This would only be an 1/8 of an inch coming up here, so I might not do that center, but I kind of need it in there because this is only a 1/2 of an inch. So each one of these sides is a 1/4, so if I did that, that's only an 1/8 of an inch piece of fabric. That's pretty tiny, but I need it to fit on my page. And this is a 1/2 inch, and this in here is a 1/2 inch in here, and then this is a 1/2 inch, and this is a 1/4. So we got a 1/4 there, a 1/4 there, and a 1/2 there. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, we got a 1/2 in here. We got a 1/2 here, a 1/2 here, and a 1/2 here. So that's 1 1/2, and then we got a 1/4 on each side, which makes it 2. And there's 2 inches there. From here to here is 2 inches. From here to here, and from here to here is 1 inch. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. And going this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are pretty simple, but in here, this is only a 1/2 inch. This piece in here is only a 1/2 inch. And this is a 1/2 inch of white in there. But if I want gold, or I could make that black in there. I think this should be black in here. But it's a 1/2 inch. But this would only be, if this is a 1/2, this would be a 1/4. This would be an 1/8 and an 1/8 and a 1/4. So it gets pretty. I don't know if I'll do all that in there. I might just end it here. Make this a 1/2. Because I think the 1/8 inch there will be kind of, I want to use up my gold paint here. I squeezed out too much. Let's just use it up. Now, in here, I'm going to go to there. I think I'm going to make that area black. No, I think it should be gold. I think it should be gold. Right there. Yeah, I think it should be. I think I'm okay. I think I got it. So I need to translate this. Actually, this probably should be white in here, because there's white coming like that. Only this much white bothers me. It's just a piece of fabric. It's just paper. It's just paint. I got too much paint here. I keep putting layers on it. I think that works. Now, let me grab a page here. And grab a paper. Hold on. I need a paper. What is all this? Well, by the time I find something, I need to get me a book to use as a wipe-off book. Grab a sheet of paper here. Hold on. Let me grab a piece of this. This is actually autumn paper. Could use it for a fall journal. Get rid of this. I just don't want to waste my paint. Look at all that paint. We don't want to waste it. Actually, that would make a nice background right there. I like what Dee Dee did. She was, what was it? Wednesday I was in her stream, and she was doing collage pages, and she had these nice painty backgrounds. This would make a nice autumn journal with the fruit down here. All right, let me put this back in the water. Throw this away. Now let's put these away. Put my pens away. Put my paint away. If you put things away, I'm learning. If you put things away right away, you have less of a cleanup after you sign off. Alright, but this is the fabric I'm going to use. Let's move this. This is the fabric. So I have to translate. See, this is, I might cut me another piece, or I have to stitch this. This is hemmed on the side, but the hem's coming out. But this is 4 inches. It's a little bit over 4. And then we have the white and the gold. I might end up pressing these anyway, because what you do first is you stitch along the edge, and then you cut. But I don't know, I might cut, well, no, I'm gonna have to figure out how to, I might have to get out a white pen, I've got a blue one, I'm not sure I have a white one. And you have to draw your design on here, and my design will be like this. It's not dry. Let me move these. I gotta put those away, yeah. My design is gonna be like this, with these colors. But see, this is a 1/2 inch right from here to here. That's a 1/2 inch, and that would be the border, like that. And then I'll have a 1/4 of an inch, and then I'll have the white a 1/4 of an inch, and there won't be any stitching there. It'll just be the backing fabric peeking through. There'll be stitching on here, which will stitch the white down. So there'll be a 1/4 of an inch. Well, it'll come in a 1/2 of it. And it'll actually go like this. Let me get my white. It'll be like that. Something you can't, I need that paper under this. And then it'll be in a 1/2 of an inch, like that. And then the white will peek out just a 1/4 of an inch. And then it'll be gold again. Another 1/2 inch. That's not a 1/2 inch. Hold on. It has to come down more like that. And then this will just be a little strip of a 1/4 of an inch in there. And then I'll have another 1/2 inch of gold. And it looks so pink to me here. It just looks pink. I don't know if it's the lighting or what. Does that look gold? It looks gold in my tablet, but when I look at it in real life, it looks pink to me. It's the lighting in this room. It probably has some, well, yellow is a primary color, so it doesn't have any red. It could have some red tones in it. But it'll come in more like that, and then it'll have another layer of orange in here, or yellow in here, or orange, gold. And this will all be, and I'm going to do it raw edge. I'm not going to attempt on this tiny of a piece to turn all that stuff under. Yeah, I think I'm happy with it. This in here is what's challenging me, is this right in here. I don't think I'll do this area here. I'll do the gold going across, but I won't do that, because that would be 1/8 of an inch, and that's, so that's my project for, and I want to work on my cover. Let's put these back. Let's see, did I get the black out of this one? And let's fold this in. It doesn't want to go in. And the orange goes in here. And it just looks so pink to me, but it is orange. I got it right there. Or gold, orange. But it looks pink. Maybe it is pink. Maybe this is pink. Oh, it should tell me over here. Hot pink. Ha! It is pink. It looked pink to me. The gold is over, the orange is over here. green. I guess the orange, I don't see those matching up. They got blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I guess there are 10, but I don't see. This must go in here. This must be the orange over here. That looks pink to me, but orange and yellow. I don't know, maybe that's the orange, because that's the yellow. See, this confuses me. Brown, black. Oh, there, they got an orange over there. That's red. So the orange must be green, blue, brown, pink, gray. I'm going to put it in here and forget about it. Ha! They're just made for kids anyway, the markers. Okay, so these go in. I'm going to get me a cigar box and put all this stuff in. These are two. If I were a kid, I would never be putting this stuff back in the boxes like this as a kid. I'd be out on my desk messing up the floor. But since I'm not a kid anymore, it's still hard to get them in. Hard to get this stuff put back. A kid would just stop right here. What's stopping it? There. I don't know how those go. Fold down, fold up. It's not going all the way in. I'm stopping. I've had enough of that. I'll get a cigar box from Pearl. So tonight I did the thrift haul. We opened Happy Mail. I showed you my stitch journal. I did just about, and then I started this. I showed you my stitch journal and the journal cover. The book that I'm doing with scrap paper. And then we designed, this is the Molo. And I'm going to do the Greek key in here. And imagine the little black stitches. And I might put white stitches around the edge here. So let me come out and look at chat. Let me refresh my chat. I'll come out and say good night. It always goes fast. My time always goes fast, especially when I start trying to figure this stuff out. I'm thinking she will attach the gold fabric to the black, leaving the black border. Then cut 1/4 inch strips of white. No, I won't cut. It'll be 3 layers. It'll be the black on top. I did it this way to show you this. But what you do is you put you layer these like this. You layer it like this. 3 layers. The technique itself is 3 layers like this. And I got threads in there that need to be. That looks like I got black on it. Depending on how that shows through or not. I'll use it or I won't. But what you do is you stitch these 3 together along the edge. And like I said, I might cut another piece of black because it's kind of wonky over here. But then what you do is I'll measure in a half, and I'll have to get a white pen or a chalk pen or something, and I'll measure in a 1/2 inch here. So from here to, let me get another white. We'll use this. Like this. I'll measure in a 1/2 inch, and that's where I'll have to draw my line to cut. And then actually my gold piece, because my gold piece will be a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. My gold piece will be much thicker. It'll be 1.5 inches thick. My gold, say this is gold here. This will be 1.5 inches thick in here. From here to here. Then you'll cut the gold piece. You'll cut this little 1/4 inch. You stitch all this down, and you'll stitch in here, and then you'll cut this little piece out. You cut real close to. You have to really be careful where you're cutting, and you'll trim. You'll trim and just leave a little gold piece in there. And it'll only be a 1/4 inch. Of course, I have paint on my finger there. So this is the black, and then I'll have 1.5. So here's a 1/2, and here's 1 there, and it'll only be a 1/2 inch up here, and 1.5 inches wide in here. Let me erase that. Let's put a line. This entire piece is 1.5 of gold, like that. But then, after you stitch down the gold, you come in and you cut right along here. I would cut this little 1/4 inch, this cut right here, cut that out, and cut right here. But see, I'll have it stitched in there, so you can do that cut. And it'll probably be uneven because, you know, I need to make it longer. If I were wider, if I could, you know, but I want mine to fit my journal. And it has to be 4 inches there because my journal, I think, is 5, and I'm leaving a 1/2 inch on each side. My journal page is 5.5. But I've been making these 4 inches. And I usually have been putting these on another layer underneath. But we'll see about that. But this is all gold here. And it will be 1.5 inches across. 1.5, 1 1/2. And then a 1/2 inch in, and 3/4 inch in, I'll cut the little piece in there to show the white. So I'll cut this area in here. And then this will be the other, this is a 1/2 inch here. And then I'll cut this, and I'm not going to do this here. I'm going to stop at the 1/2 inch here. So this part will be white. And this kind of bothers me here because it's wider than these. But I don't want it. This is only a 1/2 inch wide. So in order to get a gold piece coming up in there, I'd have to make that. This is only a 1/4 inch here. This would have to be an 1/8 inch, and I don't want to fool with that, so I'm going to let that be white. It'll be white all up in there, which is kind of inconsistent with the smaller white there. I could couch a piece down here. I could couch a separate piece in there, and I might just take a separate piece, a strip of gold, and just couch it in there. But we'll see. Oh, am I spinning? Am I live? Did I go out? Did I? Oh, I'm still live. My tablet. My tablet. My tablet has juice. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, I'll figure this out later, but I'll have to find a white pen so I can mark this off. I'll have to sit in here and do it with the grid. This isn't something I can sit at the recliner and do in my lap. I'll have to stitch it all down and trim it in here. So, 2 or 3 layers of fabric. Not fabulous. I'm still live. Okay. You didn't go out. Okay. Yeah, there'll be 3 layers. White, gold, and black. But just imagine the trouble I would have doing this. Look how much trouble I had figuring out. This is what I wanted to do. How much trouble would I have doing that on this narrow of fabric? It would be way too complicated for me to do in a weekend. I could probably do it kind of freestyle and just, put it together and start cutting. I could try that, but I'd much rather go with something more linear and something a little bit easier. You still have to kind of figure things out. But the idea, it's called reverse applique, and the idea is to have 3 layers and cut the top layer so that the middle layer shows, and cut the middle layer so that the last layer shows. So this would be the bottom, this would be the middle, and that would be the top. Brenda says, I put my markers in Ziploc bags. The boxes are frustrating. Yes, they are. But they have to make them fit the shelves, They think in a shelf life and hanging on the shelf. Brenda says, I'm thinking she will attach the gold fabric to the black, leaving the black border. Yes. Then cut 1/4 inch strips of white and stitch down. Yeah, that's the first sentence is right, but I won't be cutting out the white. The white will be the bottom layer. Let's see. I'm seeing it now and understanding where you're going, Brenda says. Mary, I missed exactly what you are designing. Is the black, gold, and white going to be fabric with stitches on top? Yeah, it will be. I will have stitches. See these white stitches here? I just kind of marked them on. I don't know if you can see them on your, but I'll do stitches around this, little tiny white stitches around the black and little black stitches around the gold. No stitches in the white. The white will just be showing through. The white will be stitched down because it's the bottom layer and you stitch through all 3 layers up in here. Let's see. Not boring, Brenda says. Good. Angie says, no, Mary, we're not. We're just trying to figure out what you're doing. Well, I think this is going to be much easier than this. Brenda says, Angie, I'm not sure what she's diagramming out. My husband decided to share his misadventures at work. I've been listening to him. So you've really been caught in it. You're listening to husbands and Mary at the same time. Oh, Brenda. Mary, that looks pink to me, too. I think it was pink. I do think that marker was pink. This is more gold than that. Yeah, I think that marker was pink. That's okay. I just don't have pink fabric. It kind of looks gold on my tablet, But in here, it just looks so pink. This is more gold than this. Let's see. Angie said, I turned off my phone and turned it back on. I thought I was losing my mind. What? Goldie was crocheting. Becky said good night. Angie said she's not seeing any of us. Thank you, Angie. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Oh, there. I'm going to pin this. It's kind of late to pin it now, but maybe it'll show in the chat when. Let me pin this. Pin message. Pin KN3 Cloth Tales channel. So this, where you layer 3 fabrics and then cut away, is called reverse collage, and the technique that she's teaching is called Molo. And they use reverse collage to make their designs. Can you imagine? They do animals and flowers and trees, you know. Of course, they're probably working larger. And what they do, their Molo is a band that goes around their waist. That's where the Molo comes in. The technique is reverse applique. But they make a wide band. Well, to me, this would be wide enough. 7 inches around your waist would be wide. But just to think of all the designs, they got enough trouble with the Greek key. This is going to be a Greek key. And you have to think there'll be black stitching in there. This is wet, or I would draw on that. But, yeah, I'm back to where Brenda said that would be a great memory with your mom. So I want to say good night to all of you. I am going to be on Sunday night. Tomorrow's Saturday. So I'm going to be hopefully working on this tomorrow and working on my journal. So have a great weekend, and I will see you Sunday night. Thanks for popping in and spending your Friday night with me. I miss you guys when I don't stream, but I've been enjoying my time off. Bye, everybody.